Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Transformers fans everywhere, welcome back. LPS, Last Prime Speculator, here to bring you another speculation as always. Today's focus on our speculation will be Blitzwing and his triple changer mode. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing and turn on all notifications. That way you can stay updated with all my Bumblebee speculation videos. But with all the way, guys, let's get right in the video. We won't be doing too much TF education in this video just because we're pretty much familiar with triple changers. If you're not familiar with a triple changer is a type of transformer that has three modes, whether it be vehicle mode, airplane mode, and typical Cybertronian mode. But that's what we're going to be focusing on here. Now, the reason why we're focusing on the triple changer modes itself is because of the three triple changers that were announced, right? We have Shatter, DropKick, and Blitzwing. You're probably asking yourself, why are we talking about triple changers? Well, the reason why we're talking about triple changers is the wow factor of triple changers, right? If you recall in Age of Extinction, when we first met Drift in the Autobot reunion scene, we were revealed that Drift was a triple changer. He was a Bugatti Veyron and an S-97 Raider helicopter. Now, this was introduced in the Autobot reunion scene, and this was a wow factor. We knew he was the Veyron vehicle mode, but when he actually was triple changed and became the S-97 helicopter, that was the wow factor. It turned out to be useful in the KSI raid saves, but when we all saw Drift become a triple changer mode, that was a wow factor. Now, we have three triple changers total in this movie, right? From what we know, we have Shatter, who is a female Decepticon, and she transforms into a Harrier jet and a Plymouth satellite. We also have DropKick, a male Decepticon, who transforms into a Bell AH-1 Super Cobra and AMC Javelin. And now we have Blitzwing, who is reported to be the main villain in this movie. And he is, I believe, a helicopter, and it hasn't been introduced to what his third transformation mode will be. And if you're familiar with Transformers, G1 and animated, we know Blitzwing turns into a helicopter or a jet and also a tank as well. We don't know if the tank mode is actually going to be his third triple changer mode. The reason why I bring that up is because in the prequel comics from issues 3 and 4, 3 being Energon is Forever, and then the 4th issue being From Cybertron with Love. Now, the reason why I bring these two comics up is because in the comics they finally introduced Blitzwing in this, right? The thing about Blitzwing is exactly like in Transformers Animated, as well as G1, he does have three modes, right? Now, I thought this was very interesting, just because they already have three triple changers in this story, of this plot of this Bumblebee movie. And to have three triple changers, you got to have that wow factor. It reveals in here that he was a tank and a jet in these comics, right? But Blitzwing has been known to have multiple personalities. He's got his animated, which is icy and cold first personality. He's got the hothead rage mode, and then he's got that random insane mode. Now in these comics, he didn't have that. He didn't have that attribute. It didn't seem like he really had that insane personality. The main thing that was very interesting about this, though, was that he looked a lot more like Tarn from the IDW comics, one of the Decepticons in the IDW comics, one of my favorite Decepticons, if I may add, instead of having his normal looking like Starscream, which he has in this movie. And that really got me to thinking, right? To have Blitzwing be the main protagonist, I believed, and I speculated in my Dark Cybertron video, I'll leave the link right up there on the top and as well in the video below, is that I don't believe Blitzwing is the main antagonist in this. And what was very, very ironic in this is that in these two stories, Blitzwing was doing somebody else's bidding in this. And it was by a little small Decepticon named Magulus, who looked got similar traits to Brains, to give you an idea. Here's a picture of Magulus. And his whole goal was to get the Allies and the Russians to start a new Cold War and actually lead us to a nuclear war. That's what his original goal was in this time in these comics. Megatron is nowhere to be found in these comics, and I don't believe he might make a small cameo, but he is not the main villain in this. It's focused on Blitzwing. But these prequel comics are supposed to be connected to this. He did have the three triple changer modes, right? But this is what I wanted to speculate on for you. For Blitzwing to be a powerful and evil villain, there's got to be something else. And then this is kind of what I kind of got the ideas from the comics as well as the trailers. It's not really adding up. We know that Blitzwing has always been known to be a triple changer. He's a seeker, and for most of the Transformer cartoons and comics, and we all know that the main seekers are actually led by Commander Starscream. Now, the thing about Commander Starscream and everybody else is a lot of the Seekers don't like nor respect Starscream for the most part, right? Now, Blitzwing in this, when he was revealed to have the Starscream look alike, we all were convinced it was Starscream, myself included. I was convinced it was Starscream. I think you guys were all convinced it was Starscream. Now, just like Blitzwing and Transformers Animated having multiple personalities, I feel Travis Knight would take that content and use that idea to build his own story. Now, how would you do that? You have to have a WOW factor as a triple changer mode. Again, we got Shatter, we got Dropkick, and we got Blitzwing. We all know that they transform into vehicles as well as airplanes in some type of general state, right? What if Blitzwing's personality is actually one of his transformations in this? Because it has to have that WOW factor. Now, hear me out. It was confirmed he was a tank as well as a jet in the comics, and we all know he's normally a tank and a jet. But what if one of his personality modes and his abilities would be that he can transform into any single Transformer for his own bidding? In particular, what if his actual ability is to transform into normal, actual Transformers? Somebody like Starscream. Now, hear me out. This will make a lot of sense too, because one, this would cause a lot of character development and also a story that I believe Travis Knight would want to tell. If Blitzwing is the main antagonist and actually is the main evil seeker, he's got to have something to wow the audience, because again, 3 triple changes isn't going to do it. But what if he actually transforms into a actual Transformer? That actually he uses one of his multiple personalities, his insane personality, to take form of an actual Transformer. In this case, it could be Starscream. Now, this would be perfect too, because Blitzwing could have his own cause, his own story, and his own drive for the Decepticon cause. He might not even be part of the Decepticon cause. This might be a Blitzwing-oriented, driven story, because in the comics, Bumblebee actually rages out against Blitzwing in this, and the reason being is what I speculated before. In this, it was a sequence of him and Diabla. But she ends up actually working for the Russians. I know, spoiler, and I probably should have said that. But she actually works for the Russians in this. So she has her own drives in this story as well. She ends up dying, and when she ends up dying, Bumblebee has some sort of rage. And the Decepticons, like Dead End, that are actually working with Diabla and Blitzwing in the comics, they actually make fun of Diabla and refer to Bumblebee as her boyfriend, her love, her interest. And of course, she debunks that and denies it the entire time. But Diabla and Bumblebee have a very special connection in this. And the reason why I think this is so unique is because Blitzwing ends up killing Diabla in this, and Bumblebee ends up going into an absolute rage. And very similar to his Wasp look, where he's seeking vengeance and wanting revenge for the death of Diabla on the hands of Blitzwing. Now, being that Blitzwing is being hunted by Bumblebee, and Bumblebee is, in this time in these comics, very angry with them, this could actually make sense of the story. Is that once Blitzwing comes back and fights Bumblebee, Bumblebee loses his memory, loses his voice box, and loses his idea of his love interest in Diabla, which I think the love interest actually could be Charlie in this, and that Bumblebee is actually taking his love interest from Diabla in the comics that they're not going to talk about in the movies. That Charlie is now his Diabla, and that's all he remembers. It was a female that he had a very special bond and a very special love interest with, which Charlie could take that place for Diabla. Now, a good way for Blitzwing to be a villain and make Bumblebee forget is to use his transformation ability of actually taking form of a Transformer. In this case, Starscream. And this would actually make sense, because this would be a huge callback to Transformers 2007, when Starscream actually unleashed Megatron, and we got to witness the awakening of Sector 7 and Megatron breaking away from the capture when he was being held in that icicle state. And when he releases, he says, "I am Megatron," and flies out, and we see the scene where Megatron actually says to Starscream, "You failed me yet again, Starscream." And actually it was this clip right here.
Where is the cube? The humans have taken it. You fail me yet again, Starscream. Get them!
Now, this would make a lot of sense, because this would make sense that Megatron only remembers a brief instance, where what if he was actually referring to Blitzwing, and actually it was Starscream. Blitzwing is using his ability and his personality mode to transform into a Starscream wannabe, probably for his own purposes, to make a worse connection that it already has between Megatron and Starscream, and that would also develop story development, and plus make a huge call out back to the 2007 Transformers movie, where it actually would make sense, where actually that was the plot that they actually went with, that Blitzwing's actual ability of his triple changer mode is to actually take the form of Starscream and have all the failures and anything that goes wrong be blamed on Starscream. And that would make sense for the character development of Blitzwing, because Blitzwing, being an insane personality, would make sense to blackmail his fellow Seeker, and Blitzwing could be out just completely for himself. And that's something that would make a total lot of sense, and also be a huge callback, and would be the wow factor of the triple changer mode, which we, in my opinion, I need for Blitzwing to have some sort of assurance of a dominant enemy other than Shatter and DropKick. Because at this moment right now, if I had to choose all these new Decepticons and triple changer modes, I'm more intrigued with Shatter the most. Blitzwing needs that to be able to develop his story. And plus, it would also make sense because in these comics, Magalus was actually the one responsible while Blitzwing was doing his bidding. And that would make sense that Blitzwing still is working for somebody, and I don't think it's Megatron. I want to give a shout out to Super Pixel Warrior. Super Pixel Warrior hit me up on Twitter and actually provided this speculation of that Blitzwing's ability could be a calling to the Transformers 2007 movie, where Blitzwing actually takes the form of Starscream. So I want to give him a shout out. If you guys have any speculations, ideas, or anything, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Prime Speculator, and feel free to send me a direct message as well to send me your speculations. If it's eye-popping and eye-catching just like Super Pixels Warrior, I'll be happy to make a video on it and also put my own touch on it. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well at Last Prime Speculator, and feel free to send me a direct message as well as my channel as well. That way, if I get another speculation that intrigues me and interests me, with your permission, I'll be happy to make that video about it. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, turn on all notifications, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you'll be here for all my Bumblebee speculation, spoilers, news, and all that good stuff. To my subscribers, I love you so much. This is LPS here to bring you another Bumblebee speculation. Peace.